Hello, we're live with Dharma Talk Tuesday. And I'm very excited to give you a very pragmatic tip today based on a real life experience that a friend of mine had not 2 days ago using a tweak, a very small, very minor tweak I gave her to go from feeling stuck, demoralized, frustrated to manifesting $6,000 cash. So I'm going to share that tweak with you today. And before I do that, I would love for you to hop on, say hello, tag anyone who you believe this would make a difference for. And of course, say hello and say where you're from. And also hashtag replay if you're tuning into the replay. So we are about a week and a half out from Christmas, if you can believe that, before the new year. And I bet that 6K is something that would make a difference for you. And I just my intention for you today is to understand how incredibly easy it is. Like, I used to get really, honestly, very triggered when my spiritual teacher used to say to me, manifesting money is so easy. Manifesting money is so easy. But I really want you to actually hear that today. Manifesting money is so easy. Manifesting in general can be easy, but of all things, manifesting money is so easy because there's so much of it swirling around everywhere. Think about it the way it crosses the globe, and why not redirect energetically and pragmatically and logistically some of it your way? And yes, there's strategies. Yes, there's things you can do. Yes, there's ways that you can have that happen, but there's also an energetic component to it as well. And that's a big part of what I want to focus on today, because one of the things that if you've done any leadership work or any of that type of, those seminars or trainings or things like that, you learn the proportion between doing and intention. And my particular proportion that I teach and my methodology is a little bit different from that. What I teach is that a third of what you do should be doing oriented, strategic, focused action, and 2/3 should be programming the energetic blueprint of how you want things to be. And if your proportion is off from that, then that means that you're either working too hard or you're not working smart. So I want to teach you to work smart. So here's what happened. A friend of mine had been messaging me for a few months, just getting more and more and more stuck. And in her messages to me, it was like, oh, I'm feeling so frustrated. I feel like I'm doing all the right things. I'm taking the actions. And I kept saying to her, hey, I love that you're taking the action. I love that you're doing all the right things. But I'm also hearing that it sounds like you're kind of out of alignment. I'm also hearing that there are a couple other things that you can bring into your practice and into your day that will really greatly improve your manifesting. And the way that the timing worked out was we had a client retreat this past weekend. And I said, why don't you come as my guest and sort of like you're one of the clients, you're coming in and experiencing how I teach my clients how to manifest real life as if you were there. Just come and come and learn and see what happens. And the thing is, though, she was in such a stuck place that even just getting there was a major financial stretch. The kind of stretch where she needed to actually go to her church to ask to lend her money for gas to get there, which I thought it was so cool that she was willing to do. She was willing to do that because she saw the possibility of transformation. She was open to the possibility of transformation. And what she said to me before she came to the retreat was, she said, you know what, Julie? I'm in a place right now of demanding from God that a miracle happens. And that phrasing may trigger some people. She actually said, I'm demanding from God that a miracle happens. But you know what? I loved that. It reminded me of the scripture where the woman who with the illness goes and she touched the hem of Jesus's garment, and virtue flowed out of him and healing overcame her. It has that same kind of vibe to it. That woman was committed to getting healed and she was not leaving without a healing. And that's how my friend was being. She said to me, she said, I demand a miracle. And I'm pausing here a moment because I want you to hear the energy behind that. And I also don't want you to misinterpret the energy behind that. because I think there's a distinction, and the reason that this is so important because this is part of the tweak. So I gave her something on top of this, but this also is something that really worked in helping my friend manifest $6,000 just this weekend after being so stuck. And I know this topic is relevant because I hear people say this all the time. So, we all go through our ups and downs. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, we all go through ups and downs, but like, let's get you back on an up faster than later, right? So, where the demand came from wasn't like a brat place. It wasn't like an entitled place. It wasn't like a, you guys get what I'm saying. It wasn't from a place of like victim at all. It was actually from a place of worthiness, of I know prosperity is my birthright. I know Dharma is my birthright. I know that there's a resource for every problem that comes up. It's the yin and the yang. I know there's a problem here, and I am only open to the solution now. I demand the miracle. I am ready. That was the energy behind it. And I found that really worked because that energy kept her looking forward instead of looking backwards. And it kept helping her focus in terms of her energy and her intention on like what was in front of her, which was the solution. Like if your energy is split in the maybe, for example, I was coaching a client today, and she said her goal is to have 10 client enrollments in January. So we reverse engineered what she needed to do strategically, which means she needs to have 30 conversations in January in order to have 10 enrollments in January. And I was talking to her today, and she said, yeah, I hope I have 30 conversations in January. I hope I have 10 enrollments. And I said, well, with that energy, it may not happen. I was like, you got to change that hope energy. That's a very dangerous game to play. That's the 1 foot in, 1 foot out energy. And that's risky. So notice your language. If you find yourself in the I hope conversation, don't be surprised if the thing that you want doesn't happen. If you find yourself in the I demand a miracle, this is going to happen no matter what conversation, honestly, the result is much more likely to happen because it's a totally different mindset. So of course my client heard it and she was like, wow, you're right. I didn't even hear myself saying that. And it brought some awareness to it, which really helped her. So hopefully you're hearing this and you're able to hear your own language and catch yourself or catch your friends if they want feedback on that sort of thing, which hopefully if you're in transformation, then they do, because it's great to have friends who also are on the same page as you, right? So, okay, she gets to the retreat. She's like, I demand a miracle. Let's do this. She gets to the retreat. And the fundamentals of my retreats and my programs and everything I do and everything I be and everything I teach, everything is consistent with the 3 pillars of manifestation. And the 3 pillars of manifestation are yoga, chakra opening yoga to open the meridians, the energy centers in the body. Emotional cultivation, which is essentially elevating the emotions associated with your desired outcome, which sets your energetic blueprint for your result. And then taking action is the third thing, inspired strategic action. And so our retreats are based off of that. So for example, this past retreat, we were working on 2020 marketing plans based on what our clients' various projects were. But we opened the day with yoga. And then we would go and do the emotional cultivation, connecting with the vision, setting the blueprint, and then worked on some strategic things. And one of the things that happened to her towards the end of day 1, after we did a very deep and very powerful emotional cultivation, is, I'll just share with you, I know she wouldn't mind, she was experiencing this explosive energy inside of her. And she didn't understand it. She couldn't explain it. It was like this really intense feeling that came out of the emotional cultivation, which didn't surprise me at all. Because chances are, if you're stuck in your results in your life, it means you're probably also stuck in your energy in your body. So after doing some very deep yoga earlier in the day, and then thinking through her strategies and her lead generation and her sales generation and that sort of thing during the day, and then doing the emotional cultivation where we're really working the energies in a quantum way very deeply, she was really physically in this I'm about to explode kind of space. So one of our clients does energy healing through touch, like massage. And so she went over and was working with her and massaging her and that kind of thing. And it definitely opened her up. And then I got a text from this woman the evening of the second day of the retreat, after more of the strategy, the emotional cultivation, the yoga, and the strategic side. I get a text from her, which was not last night, but the night before, second day of the retreat, after only 2 days of doing this work together. And by the way, she decided at the retreat that she wants to hire me and join Maya, Money Alignment Yoga Academy, because she felt it working. She felt it working. She felt it working. Again, like in this like financially like tight situation, but feeling that call, like, wow, Maya, doing this work, doing the 3 pillars, I can feel a shift. That evening, I get a text from her and she says, "You won't believe this. Actually, you will believe this. I just manifested a $6,000 pay in full contract." And I was not surprised at all, because that's how it works. That's what I said. I said, well, that's how it works. That is exactly how it works. It's not mysterious. It's not confusing. It's not complicated. I mean, people like to make it complicated because then they get to, be right about the belief that work needs to be hard and stressful, until they let go of that belief and realize that work can be flowy and easy and easeful. But she had a breakthrough in realizing, when I demand the miracle, when I'm all in and committed, even at a ridiculous level of faith, and I'm aligned in using the 3 pillars of manifestation, I create miracles easily. That's a breakthrough. She's like, I want more of that. And I want you to hear that today. And you may not be stuck, you may be in flow, but the thing is, life will life. And there are times when you do feel stuck in life, even if it's not in your business. Maybe it's in your relationship or in your family or something in your health. You know what I mean? Like as you grow and as you bring in more layers into your life of things that you're working on and new visions that you have, it's like energy sticks sometimes, and you got to work through it and you got to get to the other side of it. And in my experience, using the 3 pillars of manifestation is one of the most tried and true and easy to use and proven ways to unstuck the energy and turn the faucet back on. So it's really that simple. And I want to invite you to consider, if you're doing if you're doing 2 or 1 of the 3 areas, then what is something you could do in the 3rd area? If you already do yoga, what is something strategic you can do? For example, one of the things I teach my clients to do is to do 3 or more personal reach outs a day. And I call that being a blessing. So being a blessing to at least 3 people a day could look like Facebook messages, could look like emails. And more often than not, those can turn into enrollments into their business, or a hiring of new team members, or an introduction to someone else who can make a difference in their life, and having those conversations. That's a form of the 3rd part, the 3rd pillar, which is technically called avenues of abundance. Or if you're a doer and you've got the doing handled, ask yourself, am I doing the emotional cultivation? Am I spending time programming my energy the way that I based on my desired outcome, using elevated emotions of how I want to feel every single day? Am I doing that? So for me, that's one of the ones that I tend to slack on, because I'm a doer. I like to take action. It makes me feel really good. And so I have to actually talk myself into taking time to slow down and meditate. Why do you think I teach this stuff? Because I know the consequence of not doing it. And I'm such a stand for things to be easeful for you, and for you to understand how much easier things can be when you use the 3 pillars instead of trying to just use one, like just do the strategy and the doing, or just do the yoga. Because you need all 3. You need all 3 for the easefulness to start to kick in. So ask yourself which of those 3 you can turn the volume up on a little bit. And what you'll find is that it's a small tweak that you can do in your manifesting, in addition to what I said earlier, which was changing your mindset from hope to demand. Instead of, I hope I get this desired outcome. No, I demand the miracle. It's time. It's my time. It's my birthright, and I get to have it now. Totally different energy. So I hope this Dharma Talk Tuesday makes a difference for you. I look forward to hearing from you. I'm sending you blessings the week before Christmas. And I hope you are enjoying the Christmas spirit. You can kind of see our Christmas tree in the background there. I personally like the white lights, but Matt likes the multicolored ones, so we switch on and off. All right, I hope you're having a great evening, and I will see you next week on Dharma Talk Tuesday.